We started with $700 in revenue, which might as well just buy you like one fucking burger per month, and 73 subscribers. And we turned that into 8.5K revenue in September and 230 subs, roughly. Now, for this account, we 3x the subs, right? We got 3 times the subs, which is fine, but we 12x the revenue. So this was majorly a chatting improvement, right? Because most of the money here came from the chatting. And what we implemented is very simple. First of all, we developed a fuck up policy because I don't know if you guys see yourself in this, but most of you give your chatters a bunch of orders. You have a bunch of systems, you tell them what to do. You know what to do. You know the systems that you would like. You look at the chats and you would have chatted differently. The biggest issue is that chatters don't implement it. You may think they're stupid, you may think they're lazy. The real problem is they don't feel like listening to you. It's kind of like in school. Remember the days when you had like 2 different teachers. One of them said, oh yeah, guys, do your homework. Come on, let's do the homework. You didn't do the homework and they're like, dang it, come on, let's do it next time. You never did your fucking homework with that guy because you didn't care. Like, why the fuck would you do that? And there's the other teacher, the ex-military guy who said, okay, guys, this is your homework. If I catch one of you not having it, like, there's going to be some consequences. And if you ever didn't do your homework, you felt like, oh, fuck, look, oh, fuck, he's going to yell at me and shit. Okay, I might as well just do my homework, right? So your chatters implementing what you tell them and your chatters doing what they're supposed to do is very rarely linked to their intelligence, their skill, their work ethic, right? They're not shit chatters. They're not that lazy. Maybe they are, but most people are lazy and they still work. It's linked to your authority and the way you run your company. So we implemented a fuck up policy, meaning every time someone didn't do what they were told to do, like they did a mistake that could have been prevented if they would have followed instructions or they were late to the shift, they got a fuck up or a strike, as you want to call it. And if you had 3 fuck ups, it was clearly communicated, you get fired or you get 50% less salary, which is a hard policy. And the core to this year was hopping on the call together and communicating why that is the case. Guys, if you were do your homework, if you would follow everything that I say, we wouldn't have to do this. So ideally, nobody ever gets a fuck up because you give fuck ups for something that's really just stupid or really just lazy. Doing an honest mistake, hey, that happens to everyone, even to me. But if you don't do what you're exactly told to do, then that's absolutely not understandable, right? You get a fuck up, fine, live with it. And by that, we could actually use the systems we had. We could actually implement things and they were getting followed. So like people actually listen so you can actually get the chatting better, which most of the time is you guys' biggest problem. Reply time, the selling, like the follow-ups, the work, all of that comes from this. Making sure your chatters want to work, incentivizing good work and punishing bad work. We obviously set up some more bonus systems. We made sure that we did some like bi-weekly calls where we called out the best performing chatter of the 2 weeks, etc. So the people knew they have a choice of either working good or working bad. If they work good, they get praise, they get more money, everything's good. And if they work bad, they might as well get fired and they get a fraction of the money. So the choice does itself. You put them in a scenario where the only good choice is to implement things. Next up, we implemented daily feedback sessions because most of your chatters rarely get enough feedback. Every single day, we sat down with each and every chatter and we discussed, okay, how is your work currently going? Where do you see problems? Here are 3 bad examples. Why do you think they're bad? What could have done better? All right. How do you plan on doing that better next week? What do you have to change? Okay, what do you want to focus on this week? And then following up the next session. Okay, how did that go? Here are some examples where you did it already better. Here are some where it still lacked, etc. So essentially, every time you do these sessions, they get like 5% better. So after like 2 or 3 weeks, your chatting is barely recognizable to the state it was before. But most of you guys do one of 2 things. Either you lack the volume, so like once per week you send like a Loom video of, hey, here are 5 bad chats. This is bad because this. Bye. Like nobody learns. Like as a teacher, this is kind of like me doing a Loom video. I know that 80% of you aren't going to implement what I'm saying here because people just lack the skill to be proactive about learning. So you have to be the teacher and run them through, okay, make them think what could have done, what could be different here. What could you have done better? How are you going to do this? Please send me your action plan. You have to get them through the learning process so they actually improve. And you have to do that on a high enough volume because doing that once per week, let's be honest, like you're going to take 2 years to get to a good ratio.